Hey guys, what's up? I'm back with another video, and in today's video, I will be sharing my top 5 reasons why I can highly recommend Linux Mint to those of you looking to move away from Windows or Mac OS. Number 1, Ease of Use. Linux Mint is known for being very easy to use, and the transition process actually isn't all that difficult. If you're a Windows user trying to move to Linux Mint, or thinking about migrating to it, you will see that it tries to imitate the look and feel of Windows, but with a much more customizable interface, which brings me to my next point. Number 2, a huge variety of customization is available for Linux Mint. Linux Mint supports a lot of themes, extensions, and has far more customization features built into it than Windows, and it is very easy to change many things in Linux Mint, including the taskbar, or panel, which is not something you can easily do in Windows 11, isn't that a bit unfortunate? Anyway, moving on to number 3. Linux Mint is Debian-based, meaning it has a large variety of software support, and a lot of hardware and device vendors also built PCs and components with Linux support built in, so if you're using Wi-Fi dongles, graphics cards, or other types of hardware, Linux Mint should have no issues finding and installing the related drivers. This being said, most accessories are plug and play, so you don't always have to find a specific driver for your system. The accessory you have may automatically work out of the box. Number 4, Mint has far less problems with updates, and is much more stable than Windows 10 or 11. That's right, Linux Mint has nowhere near the amount of bugs and security holes seen in Windows systems, and this is due to the open source nature of Linux in general, so people can often find bugs and issues a lot quicker in a Linux system than they can on a Windows or Mac system, which is why you don't hear about Linux having huge problems on people's computers. Although do keep in mind only 2.9% of PCs are running desktop Linux, so this also affects troubleshooting to a large extent, as you have to rely on the community, rather than a corporation. And lastly, at number 5, Linux Mint is free of cost, and it is free to use. Yep, that's right, Linux Mint doesn't cost a single cent, and it is open source, so anyone with some coding skills could modify things such as the system kernel, although this is some deep level stuff, and not many people can do coding, including myself, but that's besides the point. No product keys or licenses are needed to run Linux Mint, so if you decide to download it, try it out, or install it on a real computer, there is no need to worry about buying any product keys. This being said, any Linux distro is practically free of cost, and free from needing a license key, so Linux Mint isn't all that different in this regard. However, it is one of the most popular Linux distros out there, so this is why I am recommending it to beginners, or for people moving away from Windows systems. Just as a side note, if you're a user of Mac OS, or another OS, it might be better to check out a distribution such as Ubuntu, Pop! OS, or another Linux distro, as these systems are targeted at people using Mac OS, more so than Windows users. But even if you are moving from Windows, Ubuntu really isn't that much harder than Linux Mint, although the interface is a bit different compared to Linux Mint, but like Mint, it is also very easy to use. Alrighty, I'll see you folks in my next video, but until then, bye for now.